Zoom close up.
Let's start with Casey because she had a book that came out, I believe, last week.
Yes, she did.
Called Mage Light. Oh, here we go. She's gonna get it.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God, they're all holding it up.
I'm not, because Casey is holding my copy hostage.
Oh wow!
You had to, you had to give her the copy of her own book.
No, I have not seen her in person yet to give her the signed copy that I have for her. So yeah,
she's trying to tempt me to come out to Massachusetts, which really there is no bribery needed. There is just scheduling.
Yeah, I'll just come get it. It's right there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Nice and shiny. All right. Allison says, "Yay! Congrats!"
Thank you.
Here, Thank you.
I'm very proud of it.
Talk about Mage Light, and I'll put it on the screen.
Okay. So, Mage Light is a fantasy adventure novel that has a strong reverse harem subplot line going through it. So it's the story of Alice, who is a noblewoman and a sorceress, but she's not very good at being a sorceress. And kind of all her life, everyone's told her that you're just not good at anything, and your only purpose is to basically get married and have babies to continue your noble family. And through some heartbreak, she finally decides, you know what, fuck that. And I'm going to make my own life and my own choices. And she runs away into the night. But she's a noble woman. She's wearing fancy clothes and riding a horse all by herself through a bandit infested forest. And that goes about as well as you would expect. So she finds herself being rescued by 3 very competent, very dangerous, very attractive men. One of whom is a warrior, one of whom is a forester, so like a ranger type, and the third of whom is a thief. And the 3 of them have a backstory connection to each other. They grew up as children together before they were separated and acquired their various specialties. And they've just recently reunited, and they were going to go into business together as adventurers. And then Alice showed up, and she basically becomes their first client. And then through a series of more unfortunate events, some magic shit happens, and they end up bound together and not really sure what to do about it. And so it's a story about kind of growing up and owning your choices and dealing with the consequences of those choices, but also refusing to let other people define who you are. So yeah. And there's hot dudes.
And the sexiest drink of water.
And the sexiest drink of water ever. There is, to be clear, there is no sex on the page. It is not a spicy novel. There is a lot of romantic tension and sexual tension, but no sex actually happens in the story. And it is, I had words and they slipped out of my head.
Carrie says you had me at reverse harem, so that's all he needed to do.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of a take on a D&D adventuring party, right? So I kind of wanted to combine 2 things that I really love, like fantasy role-playing game, party dynamics, and reverse harem storylines. So there you go. Nice. That's Mage Light.
Hey.
Yeah.
Crody says, people tell me I'm not good at anything all the time. I'm a sorceress.
I hope so.
Are you?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe you should run away into the bandit infested woods and find out.
And make sure you're wearing a corset when you do.
Yeah. Look real
that's right. Yeah. And an embroidered cloak.
Yeah.
Well, without the embroidered cloak, what's the point?
Who would even know?
Right.
Who would even bother? Yeah.
I would know.
What are we even doing here? Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're down and flowing in the breeze.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Right.
Can we
Folks,
can we add a little bit?
Yes, let's add. What do you got?
So I love saying about Mage Light that I am 100% the target audience. I love a strong fantasy adventure that grabs me from the beginning and never lets go, and that also has a strong romantic subplot that is 100% believable and realistic. And my God, the tension and the angst and the buildup is freaking perfect. I loved every bit of it. Also, those 3 dudes are not well, here's trope number 1, here's the grumpy one, here's the sunshine golden retriever. No, these are fully fleshed out, super competent for good reason, real men. And I loved all of them. And I know I keep saying I love because I love so much.
No,
I read
Thank
it
you.
4
No.
times.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you like action adventure, like really good sword fights, ambushes, violence, if you like that, you're gonna like this book. If you like real honest to goodness character growth, you're gonna like this book. If you like the fact that the men don't have to suck for the woman to have to find her power, and the woman doesn't have to suck for the men to be great, you're gonna love this book. And basically, if you like to be entertained, you're gonna like this book. Nay, love. You will love it.
Nay.
Nay, you will love it.
Huzzah!
I just take
There
them
you
with
go.
me wherever I go.
Huzzah.
So Melissa says that she's the target audience for this book, but really I wrote this book for me because it was a story I wanted to read, right? And I know that there are readers out there who are like me, who love romantasy, but usually want like a little more fantasy, maybe a little more world building in their romantasy. And that's what this is, right? I don't call it a romantasy because it isn't a romance novel, in that the storyline, the central question of the story is not, are they going to get together or not? That's a related question. But the real question is, are they going to survive? Are they going to be able to, make their own choices and choose their own destiny, as opposed to having it like imposed upon them? So
It's who they say they are, not who they're told that they are.
That part.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Folks, if you'd like to pick it up on ebook or paperback, you can go to kcazl.net, or you can go to Bain Books. Or
it's actually not available in paperback yet. It's ebook or hardback.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, hardcover. Yes.
Because she's fancy, though. There it is.
That's
Look at that.
fantastic. Oh, she is fancy. Look at it.
I'm assuming it's available at all the major digital retailers.
Anywhere that books are sold.
Yeah. Anywhere books are sold. And if they don't have it in stock, they will be happy to order it for you.
Awesome. All right, there you go, folks. Mage Light. Get it.
Woo!
All right, let's move on to Melissa.
Wow, Melissa, how do you feel now? Do you want to go? You feel
I
good?
don't have that
Go
one.
for it. Let it fly.
I love you so much.
I have props.
Yeah.
He's holding my
Do
copy
the in
hostage.
and out thing you love so much.
How the hell am I supposed to talk now?
You did like the slow reveal.
There.
Do you want us to start? Because you know
Okay.
we can.
I've got this. I still got this. All right. So, like Casey, I also desperately wanted to be a dragon rider when I was a kid, and I was so freaking mad that I could not have a green dragon that I joined the Air Force. And then I got halfway through pilot training. I had fun. I had a blast. My ears, not so much. So I got medically disqualified halfway through. And I got put down an entirely different career path, which led me to all sorts of awesome things. But at the time, it really sucked. And then I was like, ooh, what if I take my love of dragon riders and Valdemar's griffins, Mercedes Lackey, Larry Dixon, and I combine it with my Air Force experience, and I came up with Rise from Ruin. So Harper Tavros, she's the main character. She trained her whole life to be a dragon rider. It was literally all she ever dreamed of. And then because her 3 friends are absolute morons, they pranked her at the exact wrong moment, or according to Felix, the exact right moment. And she ended up soul bonded to a griffin instead of a dragon. So her entire life changed instantly because those bonds cannot be broken. And she has to learn an entirely new skill set. And with her country at war, that's not slowing down. So she doesn't have time to grieve anything. She doesn't have time to take a breath. She has to drive straight into training with a group of people who really don't like her because, well, that griffin was supposed to belong to their team leader. And now she's with a group of people that are like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you are? Because she is used to being super competitive because Dragon Rider cadets are top of the class. And now she went from here all the way down here, and she is now the bottom rank cadet. So she has got a lot of catching up to do, but fortunately her bondmate is utterly ridiculous and insanely brave, and we love him so much. And he kind of helps a lot because this is a good companion. You you love them. They are the other half of your soul. So also he's my favorite. I love him
Where'd
so
you
much.
get that?
I want
Adorable
that.
Griffin?
Like seriously, right from Napoleon
Dragonfly.
Dynamite. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, and the wings move, like they articulate. It's
All
amazing.
I
right.
love that.
Oh, I want that so bad.
So it does have a romantic subplot, but it is super like slow burn. And it's also idiots to lovers. It is entirely
Idiots to
probable.
lovers.
It is idiots to lovers. And it is
It's like
entirely,
my life. Oh.
entirely probable that the idiot love interest gets punched in the face 1, 2, 3 times.
Oh,
Wait,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Right in.
Impossible. No spoilers, right? But yes, very much idiots to lovers. And more than anything else, it's about the bonds that people tend to form, especially when they're in a wartime situation, military academy. And yeah, I love them so much. I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to read it. And hopefully they'll love them as much as I do.
June 3rd. June 3rd, everybody.
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Write it
So
down.
here's my turn to add something, right? Little known fact, well, I don't know if it's little known or not, but I am a graduate of the class of 1999 at the United States Air Force Academy. So I actually went to a military academy. And after I graduated, I went to pilot training, and my ears did not blow out. So I was fortunate enough to make it all the way through and graduate and get my wings. And then I flew helicopters in the Air Force for 23 years. Melissa's book gets it right. Her military academy environment, the atmosphere between the cadets and themselves, between the cadets and the instructors, all of that is spot on, right? The dynamics are exactly what they would be. And moving further beyond that, the flight training and the operational training that all of her people go through, exactly right. You know, it's obvious that she's pulled from her own experience, and not just her experience in pilot training, but also her experience as a combat veteran, right? Melissa and I actually deployed together we weren't at the same base, but we went at the same time and flew over to Iraq together. And so it was very clear to me that some of these experiences, when she talks about the forward deployed environment in the book, I recognized that felt real. It felt, in a weird way, it kind of felt like home. And don't try to unpack that. It's messy, but it was, she gets it right, and this is something that, that a lot of authors try to do, and not everybody can get it right, but Melissa does. So
yeah. I have read this book several times. I also read it first. I don't know if Jason's still in the chat, but just going to keep reaffirming that truth. And 3 things are true. All the times I read the book, I cackled out loud. And I know on this show, it doesn't seem like it takes much for me to cackle, but usually if I'm reading and something's funny, I'm like, no. Cackled. Cried.
Did you snort?
Yes. I goose honked.
Now you know, ladies. Now you know.
The goose honk term for me. I don't even know what the noise was, but it's a goose honk. I cried big girl tears, not just a little oh, I'm a little misty, but I hate you, which brings me to part 3, in which I cursed at her in all capital letters several times.
I saved the messages.
Yeah, she got those. There's evidence.
Wow.
So if you want to laugh, cry,
The feelings are real, kids.
and want to really curse at an author, but love the whole journey, this is your book.
Yeah. If you were a Dragon Riders of Pern fan, you need to read this. It is a worthy tribute to Anne McCaffrey's work, for sure.
I keep saying, so as you can see by people making their life choices or just being obsessed with the books and writing fan fiction for 20 years or so. That's I didn't go to the Air Force, but I wrote the hell out of some fan fiction.
Yeah, you did.
I keep saying that this book is going to ruin a generation of readers in that same way. So
I will. It's really, there's allergies. It's allergy season, y'all. It's fine. I would also like to add, because I did forget that for anybody watching that enjoyed Fourth Wing, if you liked Fourth Wing, then, and you kind of deprived because we got to wait for book 4 for a while, then come over here. I got you.
Yeah. The best, in my opinion, so I read Fourth Wing and I enjoyed it quite a bit. The best part for me was definitely the personalities of the dragons and the bond between the dragons and the writers. And you get that same vibe with Felix and Harpy, and with, you know, the dragons and their riders that we see, and the other Griffin cadets and their griffins that we see. It's great. You guys are gonna love it. Just go get the book. June 3rd.
Let me, again, folks, you can go to her website, melissaolthoff.com or .net, right? And go also again, Bain Books or your favorite store of choice.
So pretty.
Let me share some chat comments that are going on before we get to Marisa.
It's so
Pierre says, imagine Casey playing Galaga with that career.
I love it.
If the Air Force carrier says pilot had worked out, Melissa, I got to know what you would have wanted for a call sign. Blastoff, maybe?
That's amazing. So two things, my friend. One, you never choose your call sign. Two, Olthoff is my married name, and I'm not telling you what my maiden name was, but it was not Olthoff. I did have a call sign though. It was My. So because okay, fine, it doesn't make sense if you don't know my maiden name. It was My Maroney, like My Sharona.
Okay, yeah.
That was pretty great.
It was good.
I'm glad it didn't go baloney. So that's better. That's really is kind of best case.
I like
My that's our first name.
Yeah.
Also, Casey, by the way, this is your copy.
Hello.
We're holding each other's.
Like, you know what? You want to
Bring it to me. Bring it to me.
It's way better than
having ransom notes going back and forth now. If you ever want to see a book.
You ever see this book again?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Casey,
man.
Easy is your husband's call sign?
Yeah. So a previous comment said something about Easy E, which is actually my husband's call sign, because Ezel is my married name as well. So.
Oh, all right. Nice. Let's see here. Oh, Lisa. Was it Leah? Leah? How do you say
Leah.
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 I love the relationships and bonds between people, griffins, and dragons.
Thank you, Leah.
Yeah. Really well done.
Is there any detail on how to train your dragon?
She also says,
There are
put it
actually.
down. Mage Light is fantastic.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
Thank you, Leah.
Oh, okay. Is there any details on how to train your dragon in the book?
Maybe.
A little bit. She gets, so here's another thing that she gets right. Like she has some flight training sequences and they're legit, right? Like I remember doing those sorties in T-37s, you know?
I did them in T6s. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I was having such flashbacks, y'all. Like I got, like I said, I got halfway through. So I was 2 rides short of final contact, which means mostly nothing to most people, but it means that I got to do all the aerobatics and
All the
holy crap,
aerobatics, yeah.
barrel rolls. I love doing barrel rolls, aileron rolls, and
But
Damn. All right.
Spin
Let's
recovery.
get to
I was meant
Marisa.
to be grown down.
Emma
to Marisa.
Midterms.
All right, Marisa, tell us about your book.
So-
your current.
We don't have that one.
Yeah, mine does not yet exist in print because it comes out in September. Although if you are attending Dragon Con, I hear a rumor that there will be some copies potentially available at Dragon Con. So a plague of magic. The tagline kind of sums it up, right? It's a big score, a little dragon, and a whole lot of trouble. So magic has been outlawed for about 400 years because it, no big deal, ended the world. Civilization has scraped its way back. We don't like magic. Seema is a somewhat recovering thief who stumbles upon the score of a lifetime. But it's more than the score of a lifetime. It's maybe the score of world-ending proportions. And shenanigans ensue, we'll say, in some not necessarily happy, cheerful, fun, shenanigan-y type ways.
Yeah.
So there it is. Yeah. Yeah, my website is not fully updated, but that is my last 2 releases before. So if you want some cool space opera, Blood of Her Father, wrote that with Casey. If you want some cool urban fantasy, Valkyrie's Chosen. And if you want some snark and maybe a little tragedy, but I write books that end with hope. So
Very true.
You won't be depressed when you close it.
You might be in the middle though. At the beginning, there might be
A little bit. Yeah.
cursing this bitch out.
I make no promises. I can tell you the dragon, the tiny dragon, there's a tiny dragon, and he has a lot of attitude, and he is real mad to be dragged back into the world.
Yeah, he's mad.
Big mad.
Big mad.
He not,
Tiny dragon, big mad.
Yeah, he's real little, but he really mad. So
yeah, he has very big feelings for
does.
such a little guy.
He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Yes, but I mean, it's his treasure, you guys. And she fucked with it.
How dare?
Yeah.
How dare? How very dare? So
yeah, I love noir stories, and I don't think Marissa set out to write a fantasy noir, but she kind of got there, right? The only thing that's really missing is it isn't so much like a detective story in like there's not like a mystery to solve, right? It's more like a oh shit, we done fucked up and we got to go find these things. But the feel of this story is it's real gritty and it's real. It gets pretty dark. And I don't say that to warn you off. I just say that because like the emotional payoff when you read it is so intense that like I read it and I was just like, I don't know how many times I had to like pause and pull my phone away and be like, damn girl. Like, you know, and if you know Marissa's work at all, you know that like, as far as her prose is concerned, she's an artist, right? And so she uses these beautiful, you know, prose constructions to paint this picture, to set this scene, to like embed the sense and the sounds of, you know, the city of Broadside in your soul as she's telling you this story that like is kind of ripping at you, you know. It's so good. So good. So yeah.
I read this. I read it 1, 2, 3 times, 4. I don't know. I've lost count. But I read it first because I read it while, like, we both kind of read it first because we read it while it was in progress, right? So I don't remember saying this, but Marissa gives me credit. Therefore, I am a genius. she said, I don't remember saying it, but this is really a fantasy story told at the street level. Like you get Seema, who was she was a street rat. She was a thief. She, you know, kind of built herself up to a scavenger. Like it seriously gives me Arcane vibes. It gives me like that steampunk, like if you like Jim Butcher's the Cinder Spires series, it gives me those vibes. And more than anything else though, and I did not think of this at first, but I freaking loved Jimmy the Hand from the Magician series, the Rift War saga.
Raymond Feist.
Oh, yes. So good. I love Jimmy, and Seema has some serious like Jimmy the Hand vibes. Yeah. And really, my favorite story that Marissa has not told yet is she's like, oh, I'm going to write this fun little heist story and it's going to be great. La, la, la. Yeah. Oh, I gave her friends. And then I cried. I cried a lot, but don't worry. Everything ends with hope. And then I cried again, but they were happy tears.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a professional author, you guys. Professional. I've written many a book at this point and way more short stories. And I thought I understood the tone of my book. And then I made just one little change, just one small little change. And it's not a happy heist book. I'm sorry. I love you. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But that being said, there is a really hot mob boss. So.
All right. Nope, we got it. We got to do this. Team Degore.
Degore.
Okay. There are side characters, y'all, and then there is a side character who literally reaches out of the book, grabs you by the throat, and says, "Good girl." With like what? 2 scenes? 2 scenes. This motherfucker had 2 scenes, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
No, Marcia, someone say hot mob boss.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So this
Correct.
of
with a history.
There's history. So if you if you are looking for a strong romantic subplot, may I introduce you to Casey and Melissa? If you are looking for hints, because Seema she doesn't have time in this book.
Mm-mm.
There is not time. But there is a scene in this book with the hot mob boss who laughed in my face when I thought he would just like be a couple lines of a character, that made my retired beat cop editor fan himself in Lady. So it is not a spicy book. There's not a strong romantic subplot. There is a enemies to colleagues line, and then there's the hot mob boss. But that one scene, I feel like for the romance girlies, I'm giving you very little, but when I give it to you, I give it to you good.
And you're
It's
playing
a promise. It's a promise for more
It is.
down the line.
So,
I'm always a fan.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Marsha's currently reading a spicy book that's pseudo mafia based and like ears perked up.
Nice.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
okay.
So Allison's calling for a sequel with that hot mob boss.
If she doesn't, I'm gonna hurt her. Let's just put it that way.
And not
she's
in the
my
fun
best
way.
friend.
Not in
so.
the fun way. Yeah.
Not in the good pain kind of
Not in
way.
the fun way.
I mean, literally, at this point, every time I read a Melissa Wolf book, I'm like, okay, I need a sequel because Bendy Hotness for Beyond Enemies. And then I'm like, I need a sequel because Team DeGory with Plague of Magic. I feel like there's a theme at this point. I need sequels of whatever this bitch writes because it's amazing.
MarissaWolf.net, folks.
Buy her
There you
books.
go.
I need sequels.
Yes, please buy
all
her
right.
books so that we get sequels. Thank you so much.
I'm very selfish here.
All right, folks. So there are lots of books to either buy now or pre-order.